appears to have so far had minimal impact on the prices that Fonterra gets for other key products. In an online auction overnight, prices for its largest export whole milk powder did fall, but not by much. Let's take a look at the numbers now. So we saw the entire index fall 2.4%, whole milk powder, which is about 60% of what Fonterra exports, down 1.6%, and skim milk powder, which is another key export, about 20% of what they export, down 3%. So let's take a look at what sort of impact those numbers have had on the currency markets, and it is fairly dramatic. You've seen against the US dollar there rising a cent, so we are now back to above the levels we were before this scandal came to light, and the currency markets were able to react. So for more now on farmers' reaction to those numbers, joining us is the Food Safety Spokesman and Vice President of Federated Farmers, Dr. William Ralston. Good morning to you, Dr. Ralston. I guess what analysts are saying about these numbers so far is that it's a good sign, in fact, that farmers should be stoked. What's your reaction?
Well, I don't think this is a time for anyone to be stoked, quite frankly. I mean, this is a serious situation, but I think it is quite a relief that that the prices have held, and I think that's a sign of confidence that Fonterra has actually been doing the right things in this situation.
However, there are some farmers that still feel angry, even if this won't immediately hit them in the pocket. This is a reputational issue. Plenty calling for heads to roll. What is Federated Farmers' take on that?
Look, I think that sort of speculation is far too early. I can understand that farmers are feeling yes, that they're sitting on the sidelines and just watching events unfold. I guess we feel a little helpless. There's nothing that we can do at this point. But you know, this is a situation where Fonterra have notified the world of an issue, and I've certainly heard commentators coming from China saying that a number of Chinese firms wouldn't have actually done this sort of investigation, or even wouldn't have blown the whistle on themselves, and even some multinationals wouldn't have. So I think if this plays out right, and Fonterra and the government and everybody does the right thing, and so far it seems that they have, that this may well actually play out as being something that will enhance Fonterra's reputation rather than destroy it. People will know that if Fonterra think there's a problem, they'll hunt it down and they'll find it.
So you're quite confident that this can be contained. Do you think, though, that farmers can expect further regulation, further testing, further costs in order to satisfy people's demand to know that these products are safe?
Look, there will be an investigation. Any sort of quality issue has this sort of investigation afterwards, and corrective actions are taken. And Fonterra will be doing exactly that. And if there are corrective actions which need to be taken, they will be. And if that means extra testing, then that will be done as well. But I'm not sure that that sort of extra testing is likely to add significant costs to Fonterra, which would be passed on to farmers.
Dr. Ralston, just on a slightly different note, you're also a medical doctor, I understand, so I wonder if you could just help us. Lots of people have heard this rather scary term, botulism, bandied about over the past few days. What exactly is it? How common is it?
Well, actually, botulism is extremely rare. I understand there's only been about 2 cases in New Zealand in the last 50 years, and even in the United States there were only around 100. It can be a problem for adults, a sort of typical food poisoning, but with weakness of muscles, difficulty swallowing, etc. And with babies, infant botulism is also a problem, but again, it's very rare. And the symptoms to look out for there are babies going off their feed, lethargy, and constipation. And you know, if people have concerns about that, they should see their doctor.
Obviously, the risk of that is what has some parents very worried, but pleasing to note that none of that has been reported so far. Thank you very much for your time. That is Dr. William Ralston, the Vice President of Federated Farmers.